when I told my dad that I wanted to box and I wanted to get my first amateur fight, it was literally like, all right, well, you're training to be a champion.
Welcome back to Boxing VIP Network. I'm Andrew Bocanegra. I'm here with Elaine Castro.
Hello, everybody.
Shane Mosley Jr. in the house.
Special guest.
Yeah, special guest. We're excited to have you here. You know, we know you're in camp, so thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you're Vegas full time, right?
Yes,
you live here.
Yes.
Man.
My whole family here, and yeah, my camps and everything.
Kids, everything's right here, huh?
Everything's right here. I love it. Vegas
Really?
is my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up in California.
Yes, I did.
So tell us about, what was it like growing up as a kid in California and then moving to Vegas? Because, it's 100. Well, then again, you're from Pomona, right?
Yeah.
And it could get pretty hot there.
It
So
gets
you were
pretty
used
hot.
to the. You were used to the.
Yeah,
heat.
the heat is not the issue. It's just more so, raising a family. I feel like is more conducive here in Las Vegas, and I would say that I became a man here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Right? I have my family here. I have my own camp. I have everything that I created for myself is here. It started out here. So
Nice.
That's why I love Las Vegas.
Oh, great place.
You grew up here, with your dad, right? You know, him
absolutely.
training here all the time. I'm sure that you have several crazy Vegas stories, right? Especially you saying that you grew up here. Do you have or can you recall a Vegas story that comes out of the top of your mind?
I mean, this is a very, very easy one for me. I met my wife here, what I mean? So unfortunately, our dear friend Diego Corrales
Diego Corrales
passed. So my wife was really good friends with
Michelle.
His daughter.
Okay, his daughter. Okay,
Natia.
Natia.
And so unfortunately when he passed, my wife now was at the funeral, and so the whole time I'm sad, but hey, what's up? And so
Wait,
she
so
asked for a crazy
you really
story.
met your wife at a funeral?
well, no. So I had seen her before.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
that's when I really shot
what
my
a
shot.
beautiful way to spark joy and happiness.
Yeah, I went to shoot my shot there. I was like, listen.
I was gonna
Wait, did you shoot your shot there?
Yeah, I shot my shot. Well, not at the, but at the at the wake.
Okay, let's be honest. You crashing funerals to pick up on girls, man? What's going on here?
Oh man,
That's so hilarious. I know we were talking about earlier. You were saying, good spots around Vegas. You being here, there's so many things that we can do here in Vegas. What if it's your one of your favorite go-to spots when you're not in training?
Oh man, so I would say shout out to them. Stay tuned. It's one of the best burgers in Las Vegas, hands down.
So it's called Stay Tuned.
I can vouch
tuned.
for that.
Yeah?
I can vouch for that.
What's your order there?
Oh, I get the double, and then with tater tots.
The tater tots, yeah.
the
Well, there's
tater
only
tots.
two things, right? Two things on the menu.
I think you can get a grilled cheese, a single,
cheese,
or a
yeah.
double, and that's it,
Yeah.
right? And then the tater tots. So my favorite thing is the double with the tater tots.
There's something in that special sauce.
100%.
There's no way a burger can taste that good. The buns are all soft.
Yeah.
I haven't had dinner, so I'm talking like this. Right?
That's where you going next, huh?
Yeah, no, it's too late for you to eat. You need to stay off of that.
Hey, I'm trying to hold my
You're just
belly in
talking
during this
about training.
conversation, all right?
Well, let me ask you this also. Okay, so you growing up here, when you're not training or you don't have any fighting obligations, what do you like to do for fun here? Especially you being a family guy. A lot of people say that Vegas, there's really not a lot of family things to do.
Yeah.
But I disagree. There's a lot of cool things to do. What do you like to do?
I take my kids to do everything. So whether it's park or, we go to Vegas, the Golden Knights games.
Yeah. A lot of sports.
Sports. Haven't been to an Aces game yet.
Okay.
But have been to the Raiders game, and that was phenomenal.
For those people watching, would you say that, bring your kids here or not? Because, a lot of people are iffy about that. Would you say it's safe to bring children to Vegas?
Oh, absolutely
Yeah.
safe to bring children.
Just don't take them downtown.
Yeah, no downtown. And, the Strip is
It's cool too.
hit or miss.
Even the Strip is okay, but
Yeah, absolutely.
downtown's a different.
But it's definitely not downtown.
Yeah,
But, the Strip is okay. And then you take them Summerlin or even Henderson. to Green Valley, which is beautiful. So there's a lot of great spots that you could take them to that you can have a lot of fun.
Really, really good timing, because 20 years ago, Vegas was crazy.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't go on the Strip. Right. So these casinos, I mean, if you had a family, you didn't go on the Strip. Right. Yeah. These casinos have really put a lot of effort into making it family friendly.
Yeah.
So perfect timing for your kids. How many kids do you have total?
I have 4.
4 kids. Wow.
Yeah.
Got a flock.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So how many? So what are the ages?
12, 9, 3, and 1.
Wow. So perfect for sports. So you're the older.
Oh yeah. My oldest is a boxer.
I was about to ask you, like, which one of them do you think is going to take after, the dad? Here?
I hope none of them. I hope none of them.
Is that something your dad told you growing up?
No. My dad embraced it, and he was all for me being a boxer. But for me, I look at it like I don't want him or my sons to do it just because they think that that's what they're supposed to do, or they think that you're doing it for any type of accolade, right? Or just to be seen or noticed, right? I want you to do it because it's a very hard sport. It's a very violent sport. It's some you can lose your life, and it's an ugly sport business wise. So there's a lot of terrible things, and so if you get into this sport thinking you're going to get the glory out of it or all of the pretty things, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And so I wouldn't want my kids to do that for that reason.
Of course.
Because this sport is derived from struggle. This sport is derived from a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So if you can accept that, then you can move forward.
Wow, well said.
And then you can be better. And so I want to be the first one to tell my sons, no, because if you can deny me, your father, you can say no to everybody else. That's going to tell you no.
Man. I like that. So, speaking about what you tell your children, what's one thing that your dad taught you, while he was, becoming this legend in the sport?
There's no plan B.
There's no plan B.
There's no plan B. There's only plan A.
You didn't have to think about it. So it kind of sounds like he said that to you several times, right?
Well, it's just a take that you have to have. There's only one way.
Probably in your DNA.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right.
But I would say that I'm a Christian, and like they say in Christianity, the only way through to the Father is through the Son. Yeah. There's only one way, right? And you may not believe that, but I do, right? And just that mindset, right, is there's only one way. So whatever way you have, you believe that, and you go to it, right? When I got into this sport, I said I was going to be a world champion. I told my wife, actually, I said, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to move to Las Vegas. We're going to have kids, and I'm going to be a world champion. I got most of that done. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm at the door of that. I'm knocking on the door of that right now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is what it is, right? Wow. It's only one way.
Wow.
That's
Plan
so
A.
wonderful.
So your oldest, 12, you said 12?
12.
Is that the boxer?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. So is he amateur?
He's amateur. He does some amateur fights, and every time we're at the gym, he's here. He's probably, you've seen him.
Actually, you know what? Yes, I met your son.
Yes.
I met your son one day when you were sparring.
And he works
good
out.
Good-looking kid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He works
well
out.
Spoken.
He trains. Yeah. I try to make sure he's speaking kindly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loves fighting. He loves being on the ring and giving me information and all that stuff. He loves boxing. I just hope that he loves it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I always say, it's really a good idea for, people just to put their kids in any type of combat, whether it's jiu-jitsu or anything like that, because I feel like it really teaches them discipline, confidence. What is one thing that you see in your son that has, impacted him in a positive way?
I would say discipline and self-control, being able to manage himself and having that confidence whenever you get into conflict, that you're able to at least handle yourself somewhat, right? And that's one of the reasons why I even tell people all the time, if you want to put your kid in anything, put them in jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Anything.
Above boxing?
Above boxing.
Yes.
Wow. So the reason why I say that is because just the nature of boxing, I have to hit you, right? I have to punch you. I have to inflict pain on you. And that's going to show damage, right? In jiu-jitsu, I can put you in a hold to where I can neutralize the situation till somebody comes, right? I can put you in an ankle lock or arm bar, something of that nature that's going to neutralize the situation where I don't have to inflict pain. I can, but I don't have to. Or I can, neutralize the situation in many ways. Wow. So I feel like that is a better solution when it comes to conflict. So if you get into a situation, and it doesn't matter if the person is bigger or smaller, whatever the case is, you get them to a arm bar, leg lock, something like that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, and I don't care how big they are.
Is that why Is that why you said jiu-jitsu?
Yes. I have a friend that trains jiu-jitsu specifically for children, and I seen just the change in even my own little nephew. Just a change. He was like, kids have a lot of energy, especially boys. Sure. It calmed him down. He's much more confident. And, he knows that he can defend himself. And I feel like that kind of builds, a really good persona. Even me, myself, he's like, my boxer, my trainer friend, he was like, hey, even if you, as a woman, you should get into some sort of jiu-jitsu because it teaches you also self-defense, how to get out of a, choking situation or, someone grabbing you from the back and things like that. So it kind of like teaches you basic, survival skills. So
wow. I wish I would have known that. When my kids were young.
So you're not knocking them around.
I was 5 years old. I was kicking them in the ring. Get your ass in the ring, right?
Yeah. That's so wild. And so like with like boxing, you kind of have to do like them like sparring.
Yes.
And it being very like conflict. A lot of like what's the word that I'm trying to use? Contact. A lot of contact, right? Contact. So with jiu-jitsu, you can do many rounds with many kids and it not get to a point of like a lot of contact or a lot of hurt and pain. You can, really, really exercise that muscle. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason too. Like my son, like he has to, find kids to spar and, maybe they get bloody noses or he gets a bloody nose and stuff like that, right? You get knocked around.
And it's done.
Right, exactly. So it's like, how many times do you have to do that in order to, be proficient in it?
Like learn a skill set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So that's one of the reasons why I love boxing. I think that, if that's what you want to do, you should most definitely learn that. But for when it comes to kids and you teaching them, I feel like self-defense, I feel like that's one of the best.
Wow, listen to this guy.
Wow. Like I heard you say in someone's interview that, being a father and having children is harder than any opponent that you have ever faced. What makes it so hard, being a parent?
Well, I would say that having to understand that I don't love you all the same. So
I'll say over there.
No, so I'll say
do.
But I'll say this. I'll say this. If I had 10 love to give you, it has to be placed differently.
Okay.
Right. So I love you for this reason, and I love you 3 for this reason. I love you for this reason, but I don't love your brother 2 for that same reason. I may love them 3 or 4 for that reason. Right. And it's just different. I can't love you the same. And so that constant juggle of like, I have to be able to give you love in this way and understand how you give you love in this way.
Got it. Okay,
right?
Okay.
Because my son, oldest, he loves boxing and I can geek out on boxing with him. My other son, I can't geek out with boxing.
Got it.
Right? Or the other one loves like being held.
Yeah.
And my son that boxes, he's like, get off of me. Right? So it's like, I have to be able to do that and understand that and be able to relay my love in that way. Yeah. And being able to still be able to give them or have them feel like I love them 10.
Yeah. Right? That's very powerful because when I first heard you say that, I thought you were like leveling out your love. Like, I love you a 2, I love you a 4.
No.
But what you're saying is more powerful because it's like emotional intelligence. Sounds to me like, like love languages. It's like you are kind of catering your love to each individual person, right? Words of affirmation, touching, 100%. And, quality time, all that good stuff. And it's so important because I know that a lot of people spend a lot of time loving their kids in the same way, or 2 or 3s. And, some kids just don't feel seen in that way, so that's really beautiful. It kind of shows that, you really have matured into that father, the father role.
Yeah.
I've had some time.
and you saying that that's hard, but I feel like that's more than hard, just like being, conscious and just self-aware more than anything, to know, what your energy is bringing to, the household.
Well, I feel like it's difficult when you have to juggle all of that when you don't feel all those numbers yourself. Right. True. So it's like you give everything, career, wife, everything that life throws at you, and you have to try to figure it out. Right. And so it's a juggling act, and you have to figure it out. But I think it's definitely helped grow and mature me as a man. And I wouldn't change it for the world.
When did you develop that mindset? I mean, there's so many fathers, right? I mean, me included, when I was a young father. I didn't have that same mindset. Of course, I love my kids. Yeah. I had 4 boys, so it's a little different. Yeah. You have some girls?
I have one girl.
But I treat them all the same, right? You're gonna box, all of you. I don't give a shit, right? I'm not making multiple trips. I'm not going, right? So I was a late bloomer, but that's great advice, what you just said for young fathers.
Thank you.
It really is.
Wow.
Pretty impressed. I know one thing, talking about fatherhood and all that good stuff, like typically when it comes to children of legendary boxers, when they go into the ring, and there's a sense of nostalgia with the public and things like that. Coming from a legendary name like Shane Mosley Sr., what have you been experienced in that sense? Being compared to your dad.
I have to put that all away, and get rid of it because it's not useful for me.
Of course.
I did nothing for those accolades. He did. I'm blessed that people want to watch me for that reason, or give me another notice for that.
Yeah.
But I'm my own man. In this regard, he's just my peer.
Yeah.
And so I don't want anything of his.
Yeah. And as far as for the nostalgia aspect of it, do you have people, I'm sure he still has huge fan base. I grew up watching your dad. So it's when people, see him, do they say, things to you about your father that kind of, soften your heart? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, they say he's one of their favorite fighters.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
And you have his face. So it's hard not to know, it's.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and what a great guy. He's here in the gym and I see him, all the time. We talk. He was on our show here, weeks back. Just a great guy. But as a fan, right? I'm in boxing, but I'm also a fan. And you see Sugar Shane Mosley walk through the door. It's I know Sugar Shane, but I still get that. Oh, there's Sugar Shane. Shane's coming in. Still get so excited. What a great guy.
He is a great guy. Personally, who do you think has a better style between you and your dad? We won't tell him. Don't worry.
He's watching right there.
I don't know. We're very different, in many ways. I feel like I've taken his flicky type of jab,
okay,
and things like that. But
signature move.
Yeah, he had a more in close, boxer puncher, Mexican style type of fighter. I would find that I'm more of a boxer.
Yes.
Technical.
More technical, more boxing. I do have his flicky jab, but I would say that I do my best work when I'm boxing and moving around. So I think that's where we differ. Depending on my dad always says, "Oh, you have the best boxing style and stuff like that." He said, "You're a better boxer than me by far." I fought, and my dad was a dog. You see his fights at lightweight.
Oh, yeah.
He was just making people quit, and he was just a Tasmanian devil. So he was pretty amazing. I would have loved to see him and Roberto Duran fight.
Oh yeah,
I think that would have been a crazy fight.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Hey, so as a kid, I mean, what's that one moment that you remember most? Oscar De La Hoya. Well, which one?
Well, number one.
Okay,
the one that changed my life.
Was that the point where you saw boxing?
Well,
and I mean,
no. Well, everything. What I mean is like after that fight, I moved to a different city. I moved to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, went to private school. Like, everything changed for me. Yeah. So that's the one that changed my life, right? And
that was a big paycheck for him.
What was the biggest moment? It made him a household name.
Yeah,
it made people know who he was. And, I mean, you know, it's crazy because like he fought like 37 times before then, and he fights that guy and finally is a household name.
That's all it takes, right?
Right. You know, the right guy. So, but that, like, again, that's the one that changed my life.
Man. So you were a late bloomer.
As
far as getting in the ring.
Yeah.
Not a late bloomer in life, but as far as like getting in the ring. I mean, you started at what age? I mean,
so
your first amateur fight was 17?
Yeah, 17.
So, and then you started getting in the ring at 15?
I started.
I mean, how were you not in the ring at 6 years old?
So, you know, it's quite funny. I have videos, and my mom actually sent me a video of me in the ring with my dad and stuff like that when I was younger. But I think just, you know, my dad was a young man, and he was focusing on that, and my grandparents were, you know, taking care of me quite a bit. So I don't feel like, you know, putting me in sports and stuff like that was first priority. And then, you know, maybe because of that, I just didn't really ask to be in sports. And, you know, I did t-ball here or football or, you know, whatever, sports, basketball every now and again. But I wasn't really doing that, and boxing was just something my dad did. You know, we went to fights, and that was something he did. So I think I didn't take a real liking to it. And then I've said this many times, but one of my buddies in high school, he was like, "Hey man," like he was a boxing fan. His name was Brennan Kavanaugh, and he like loved my dad and loved my family. And he was like, "Hey man, you want to go to the boxing gym and spar?" And me like, me not thinking like nothing of it, you know, because it's just like, oh yeah, my dad fights, you know, I'm around fighting all the time. Yeah, sure.
I got it in my blood. Don't worry.
Sure. You know, what I mean, like whatever, let's go. And so sure enough, we go to Zach Padilla's gym actually over in Azusa. It was Azusa. And we went there and sparred. Funny enough, I actually sparred 4 rounds. I don't know how. I look back, I'm like, wow, I did 4 rounds.
Was that your first time, like,
how old was that? Like, how old were you?
I love that. Straight into sparring.
You're 15.
I was 15. Yeah, like I said, I was just like, yeah, let's go. You know, and Zach Padilla's like, oh yeah, I used to spar with that all the time. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Yeah, he didn't like, oh, do you have any experience? He was just like,
well, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you get your ass kicked? I mean, what happened?
Well, so I
first time in the ring. Come on.
So I'll say this: I had a bloody nose. It was very, very difficult. And I remember thinking, hey, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Did
you also think this is what my dad does for a living?
No, I mean it was just more so like, man,
the adrenaline.
Let's go. Wow. Let's go.
Wow.
That hooked him.
Yeah, and so after that it was just more so like I really enjoy this.
But so when did you realize, okay, hey, this is like I'm good, right? I want to go pro. I mean, what age were you? How many amateur fights did you have?
Like I said, when I told my dad that I wanted to box and I wanted to get my first amateur fight, it was literally like, all right, well, you're training to be a champion.
That's no plan B.
No plan B. Yeah.
Like I'm serious. Like it was like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna be a champion. That's it, and that's all. So if you are not serious about this, the door is that way.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like don't even
talk
get
about
into this.
Pressure.
Not really.
No.
Did
you know at that point? Did you know? Okay, yes, I'm gonna be a world champion. Was it at that point or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was just like, I'm going to be world. Like, if that's the parameters, you do this or be a world champion. Like, you do this and be a world champion. And like that's what
Obviously, like he kind of like, as a father, he kind of also set the cap. Like, okay, this is what the goal is going to be. Like, we're going to take you to be the best. It's like, why are you even going to compete if you're not competing to
be great and
be great
and be the absolute best in it.
Yeah.
And I think that should be a principle for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. If you do something, do it to the best of your ability.
Of course. Whatever
Right.
it is you're doing.
Exactly.
Whatever it is you're doing.
Why half-ass it? Like, why not be the best?
Yeah. I love that. Like I also feel like, thinking about it when you got in there and you thought about doing it, what you asked, like, did you know, or things like that. I also feel like it helped a lot knowing and growing up in that environment, that it's like, it was kind of like easy to blend into it, because it's like, you already know it. So it's like, you're not thinking about the what ifs or how or when, because you've already kind of experienced it. So when he's like, hey, let's go be great, you're like, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's handle it.
Right.
That's
and then
awesome.
I was also around a lot of, like obviously he had many friends that were world champions, Chris Bird, like the list goes on, James Toney, Roy Jones, like, so you're around all of these people and that box and that are great, Ancient Manfredi, the list goes on. There's just so many people that that I was exposed to even before I boxed and then after I boxed. So it's like, this is within me.
Wow.
All right. Like
Technically, you're carrying the name at the end of the day.
Yeah, but what I mean is like, sometimes people can't see it because they, like whatever it is that they're going into, like, oh, well, I don't have that around me, or like nobody that I have ever been around is that, right? But I'm around celebrities all the time. I'm around people that have done great, cool stuff in sports all the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I remember I met LaDainian Thomason at like 10. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I'm around like all this like cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is not this is not outside of my reach.
Imagine the advice. I mean, it's one thing to get that boxing advice from your dad, but being surrounded, with all these guys and that advice they're giving you, wow.
I love to say, like, surround yourself by winners and people who want to see you win, like-minded mentality. And I feel like, you being around just this whole thing, it just kind of opens the door of saying like, hey, how do you know something is real if you don't experience it, right? And, you're looking at it, not only from your dad aspect, but from all the other people that are around him, right? Like you obviously growing up as a boxing fan, what is that one moment that you're like, you've seen a boxer and you're like, you became a fan, or like hey, I'm a fan of that guy and he's here. Like, have you ever had like any of those moments when you were younger?
I mean, being around Roy Jones.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're like, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I just kind of think I asked that because it's like kind of wild to think, it's probably just Uncle Mike to you, and just like, to you it's like, oh, okay. But you didn't experience a moment like that.
Yeah. Or, well, I mean, every time I would see Mike, he would, look at this pretty mother. And he would hit me on the back. Yeah, look at this pretty mother.
Oh, goodness.
Speaking of that, why aren't you a model? I mean, what are you doing in the ring? He's a good-looking cat here, right?
I don't.
Have you been asked to do that?
No, but I don't think modeling's for me. Like I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. That doesn't excite me.
Okay, so if you weren't doing boxing, what do you think you would be doing?
I feel like I would probably be trying to help somebody come up with something great. So I would say that I like to help people. I find that I like to think that I'm an idea guy.
Yeah.
So I like to, bounce off ideas with people, and be helpful whenever I can. So if I could do that to some capacity after boxing, that would be great. Whether that be in boxing or outside of boxing, I would always love to be in boxing because I love the sport, and I want to give back to the sport and leave my mark on the sport. But even if that was outside of boxing to some capacity, I would love to be able to do that, and try to be somewhat of a business owner. And like
Oh,
I feel like that's kind of like your faith speaking, because it's like you're giving glory to God by serving other people, and it kind of just, is born within you because, you want to see other people win with you and make sure they're good. And, you're spreading that, God love in the universe.
Well, the thing is that like, you don't get anything by keeping it all. You have to give it. you have to be the blessing.
Sure,
for people.
Amen.
And so whether that be speaking it, whether that be just giving somebody a kind word, or financially helping, whatever the case is, you have to be able to give and be able to spread that love so that other people could have and be a blessing. So, and that's how these blessings get around.
And 9 times out of 10, it kind of like helps you more than, you serving others. Like your cup gets filled even more knowing that, you were that stepping stone for someone to be better, 100%. It's so beautiful.
So you're on the undercard.
Yes, I am.
Dun, dun,
right?
dun.
Pitbull, right? Roach, December 6th, San Antonio on PBC.
Incredible card.
Huge card, right? Elijah Garcia just got added to the card. So many names on that card.
Seriously.
Wow, so you got a big fight coming up.
Yes, I do.
Right? How do you feel? How's your camp going first?
Camp is going great. I feel like a champion.
Amen.
Right? Like I feel like I'm on the door, knocking on the door
Right there.
to giving that to my wife, my dad, my mom, all those people that I told that I'm gonna be the world champion.
That's so beautiful.
I'm on the door to it. So
and you got one guy standing in your way right now, right? Jesus Ramos.
Yeah.
Is that your toughest fight to date?
Yeah. Well, I would say it's definitely my biggest
fight, but your toughest. You think it's the toughest opponent?
On paper, no, but I think he's definitely young. He's hungry. He's a come forward fighter.
He is.
He has a. I mean, he has a lot of knockouts and
high IQ.
Yeah.
He's no joke.
Yeah, he's no joke. So definitely a really formidable opponent, and obviously I'm on his promotion, so I'm B-side.
B-side. Yeah. Yeah. Explain what I mean. B-side. A lot of even boxing fans don't understand. The B-side. Explain to the boxing fans what is the B-side.
So because there's many promoters in boxing, there's not one house of boxing, right? Like the UFC, the NFL, blah blah blah, right? There are people that this promoter has special interest in. Obviously, they put money in and they promote them, right? So they have favor towards them to win because that forwards their business further when they win.
Business decision.
Absolutely. So I'm not a part of that promotion as of now. So with that being said, they have special interest in him winning, and not to say that they are going to cheat or anything of that nature, but they have favoritism.
Yeah, of course.
And usually the people that are the sanctioning bodies, the commissions, all understand that, right? And so not to say that they would do anything illegal or wrong, but they understand where they are.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want this person to continue to be there, you'd probably want to lean to their favor.
Yeah. Yeah. Often you're in their backyard.
Yes.
Right? How many B-side fights would you say you've had in your career?
I've been B-side quite a bit, man. I like to think I did this from the mud. You know what I mean? I got a cool name, but
that must be so rewarding though too.
But I definitely I got further than a lot of people thought. You know what I mean? So I'm here.
People don't understand, the game coming up in the game, right?
Boxing is tough.
But you got the name behind you, but it doesn't mean you're not in a club fight in Tijuana, right? Or wherever, right? I mean, you've done all these club shows. You don't just start off at the top, regardless of who you are. You gotta, you're your own man, like you said. You got to build it, and that's starting from the bottom.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, Ramos is coming off a 3 winning streak. A lot of people talk about his power and his movement, his IQ. What are you doing, preparing? How are you preparing, like, mentally, I would say more than anything, going into this event?
Just being myself, being the best boxer that I can be. And just staying focused on my game plan.
Would you say you're ready? 3 weeks out?
Absolutely.
It is 3 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
Yeah, time's just flying. Who's in your corner?
I have So I have Eric Boulanger, I have Quincy Hatcher, and I have Sugar Shane, as well as Stitch Duran.
Stitch in the corner too, huh?
Yeah,
I
got a pretty pretty.
So
stacked.
is Pops your second?
Pops is my second.
Okay.
You got to bring Pops out for sure, especially for a card like that. Let me ask you this. Okay, so from, all of your boxing career, if you can pick one failure or loss that has, brought you to a turning point, and not just, boxing, but also like family-wise or faith-wise or, mindset-wise, have you had a moment like that in your career?
Every loss. Every loss is, I've second guessed if I wanted to be a fighter anymore. Every loss I've had to change up something and make myself better. Every loss, so, I'm talking to my wife and saying, "Do you want to do this?" So, but you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you get better.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing, like, you being in training right now, what's one thing that you cannot live without during training camp?
My family.
Love that.
My family. So when I was young, my dad went away for training camp, and I choose not to.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I choose not. I'll never go away from my family.
So are all your camps here in Vegas?
Here in Las Vegas, and I don't go anywhere outside of my house. My family's always with me, and they will forever be with me because they're going to be with me. They were with me before all this, and they were with me after.
That's so nice. And they also see, dad coming home tired and, all that stuff, and they're always going to remember, you pouring, into them even during these, points, and not you just like leaving or, going somewhere else, being missing and things like that.
If I can't be great in chaos, then I don't want to be great at all.
You're a wise man, I swear.
I remember the memories when I was a kid and my dad coming home from work. I was so excited.
Yeah, seriously.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like now you get to go, it sounds like you take them with you,
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised that you didn't show up with them today, because he's always, with his wife or a baby. I remember when, she would push her stroller around and you're just right there with her. And I just always looked up to that. I'm just like, wow, that's so nice, because you don't really see that a lot, especially in a male dominated sport, just you can see that you have a really good backbone with your wife.
Yeah. My wife has literally slept on the couch with me.
Oh.
and when I was staying at my buddy's, apartment. So like she's literally slept on the couch with me and believed in me when nobody else believed in me. So my wife is everything for me.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So what can the fans expect on November 6th? December 6th.
Man, a great fight, a great night of fights. I'm gonna give my everything, my heart. And I'm sure he is going to as well. And it is what it is,
Hey, after this win,
yes,
right? What happens? Carlos Adames? I mean, what's the plan as far as you know now?
Well, I will play my part. If I have to unify with Carlos Adames, I'll do that. If I get the winner of Lara and Janibek, I'll do that.
Who do you want, though? Like, if you had to pick someone right now.
I mean, shoot, I've been one.
Call someone out. Do you want to call someone out?
I've been one Erzlani Lara. I've been one Erzlani Lara for the longest time. I've been wanting to fight him since Gabe Rosado, and
that would be a good fight.
And he what?
He hasn't wanted. I mean, I've been available. He's fought Danny Garcia. He's fought everybody else but me. So, I mean, I would love that fight. I don't know if that means that he won't fight me if he wins, but we'll see. And then as far as Carlos Adames is concerned, I'm not sure what his situation is, but this whole thing, like if you're an active fighter, you're active, you're active. Why is Lara fighting the guy that probably you should fight, and everybody would have rather seen him fight?
Of course,
that's
right?
my point.
Yeah.
And why is me and Ramos fighting for your belt? Essentially, the belt that you're supposed to have. So if you're an active champion, and I'm not sure what's going on, and I don't really care, but if I got to fight you, I'll fight you. If I have to fight somebody else, I'll fight somebody else. But I'm thankful, what I mean? Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get this opportunity. So whatever your reasoning is,
Thank you.
thank you.
It kind of like, helps me think about what's happening right now with, TKO and all this other promotional companies that are kind of like trying to switch the game up. And it kind of goes hand to hand to what you're saying, like, I don't know why I'm not fighting that person or why we're fighting for this person's, belt. Do you think that, that's part of the politics that are wrong with boxing, that it's not really, hey, confront the person that it's up next, but it's kind of like, the A side, the B side, does it work for us, does it not work for us? You think that there's an issue there, and do you think that
I mean, I see both sides of it. Obviously if you own a promotional company and you have to work with other promotional companies, you have interest in keeping your guy the main guy.
Of course.
I mean, you have that. Now, if we were an organization like the NFL, where there was a collective group of
or
people,
the UFC, or
well, I mean, it would be more like the NFL in regards to there's only one person in the UFC. In the NFL, there's multiple teams.
Okay. That's a good point.
But there's a collective, and they come together and they have their collective, thing in one house. Mm-hmm. So, not to say that there's anything wrong with the UFC, but I would say that if boxing was going to move to a type of a framework,
and it kind of looks like it is.
It would probably,
we need structure. It's like long time coming.
It would probably have to go in that structure. You know what I mean? Because who's going to buy out all those entities and then make it one? Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be possible, but I'm not sure if it is going to happen. But nevertheless, I would say that would probably be the best form of action. And then I think that people would be able to feel more comfortable taking fights. Promoters would be more willing to take fights as well.
Put up the money.
Yeah, all those things will happen. And then the more important thing, it will be more consumable for the fans.
Yes.
For you don't even know how many times people say, "Oh, you fighting? Oh, when are you fighting? Who are you fighting? Like, oh, under what promotion? Blah blah blah. What network?" Nobody knows, right?
Nobody knows.
But on Sunday or Thursday, Sunday, Monday, guess what's happening? Football.
Mm.
Who's playing?
You know where you can get it, and you know where you can consume it, right? Every Saturday, you know where you can watch the UFC. Mm-hmm. Right? Every Saturday, you know that it's happening.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, there should be. And if somebody asks you, "Oh, do you do MMA?" No, they say, "Do you do UFC? Are you an NFL player?" Right? There's many organizations that do football, but they say, "Are you in the NFL?" Right? We need that for boxing.
Yeah,
we need a house.
I really do think that, I've seen just, all this stuff, when we're putting a card together, it's like, call this manager and call that promoter and call this person. It's like, for each person, I have to call like 3 or 4 different people.
It's a process. And that could fall apart at any point, any
True.
time.
And I have been there. It's like, we're towards the end and someone pulled out and someone's coming in and we have to start the medicals again and all that stuff again. It's like, a lot, but if it was one structure, one person, then, obviously the manager and the promoters can still stay, because I feel like, that people call it the guerrilla style of boxing. Like, it's just the wild, wild west. This is what people say. I love that about boxing in a sense, but structure always goes a long way, and I'm very happy to know that, this UFC and then also like TKO boxing is kind of like putting a little spark under the butts of, people that are in charge and are kind of trying to figure something out.
What I disliked about that, the UFC or Zuffa coming in about that, is that why did it take somebody outside of us to do this, outside of our house to come up with this plan?
That's why I'm saying, like, it was a little spark in the butt, like, oh, wait a second.
Well, this has been talked about for, 7, 8,
talked about,
10 years.
but they can't.
But when are they going to do something about it?
Exactly.
Until somebody outside of us goes and tries to make a stand. Now you guys went, oh. When you guys had the opportunity.
First of all, the money. There's big money behind it.
I mean,
right?
Do you think the NFL or any of these organizations, NHL, you think of any 3-letter organization, are they hurting about money? No, it's going to bring more money to the whole collective.
Yep.
Like it brings and it doesn't lose interest of the most important thing, which is the fans.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing, like, is making sure the fans don't lose hope in this. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to be honest, if it weren't for Hispanics, this sport would be just.
I gotta say, and also, like, to add to that, it's, I know a lot of,
Oh, and Saudis.
Yeah.
And Saudis.
True.
Let me that and Saudis.
I just feel like, also when talking about the fans, it's like, if I'm a fan of, Mosley Jr. and it's like you're fighting once or twice, it's like, there's no way for me to keep up with you, look up, like, I'm looking forward to your fight because we're just waiting around. And it's like, that's how people are, like, deleted in the mind, or, you forget about an athlete or a performance or things like that because there's no, one organization actively promoting, actively interviewing, even when you're not in camp, doing things like this, when you're not, boxing, and it's really important.
Well, on top of that, you need to be able to have stuff continuously going.
Exactly.
And where people are continuously watching. Right? People, like
what
I said,
to expect.
Every Saturday somebody's watching and they're talking about the next guy. They're talking about all of us as a whole. They're not singling out guys because, you're not with our promotional company. Mm-hmm. They're talking about everybody, right? If somebody fights in the middleweight division, they're talking about everybody in the middleweight division.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's going to help the whole collective.
Does you think the 4 sanctioning bodies, like, if they were to come together and be more transparent, or somehow figure out a way to make it more transparent, to develop more of a league in environment?
I think if they had some type of unity together, you know what I mean? Like, to where they came together and had some type of unity. I don't know if that's...
they may need that to compete with Lufa, right?
A split or something of that nature. You know what I mean? I don't, I'm not sure what the whole thing would be, but they would have to come together and have some.
And I think it's coming. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people are also upset about, all this YouTube fighting things, but, it's brought a lot of new eyes to the sport. And, like it or not, people are watching. It's bringing new eyes, new fan base. And I think it's always good.
The problem isn't the new fan base. The problem is keeping them.
Yeah.
You can drive them here, but they're not staying.
Yeah.
Because they're confused on what they're watching, because they watch Jake Paul on Netflix and then they got to watch this on what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. And what happened to ESPN? And I got to stream, and I don't know.
Exactly.
The zone, what does that mean, right? There's so many.
Exactly. There's so many things. So it's like, we can get them here, but we got to keep them here.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I realize, talking to fans, I feel like the losing part of it is that they're comparing the new generation of boxers to kind of like the old school generation of boxers. So they kind of want that same, ambiance and things like that. So
one thing for me, and this is, not everybody's opinion, but this is my opinion on what could also intrigue fans, right? Or at least have them understand and have more understanding in our sport, combat sports specifically. I doubt if the UFC or MMA would do it, but we are the only sport, or combat sports are the only sports, that you don't know where you are at all times. And the people watching don't know where you are at all times. And why not? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Wow. True.
Why? Because everywhere in my life, if I pull out my phone, I can know where I'm at. I can know anything I need to know. Why am I watching this sport and I have no idea what's really happening? I could watch it and think that, this person's winning. And then the other guy won. Yes. It's like, why am I going to watch this? I've basically wasted my time because I didn't know where I was watching this. And I bet on this guy, or I thought that this person was going to win. I think this. And it's not for the transparency of the judges. I can care less about your opinion. I can care less about all of those things. What I care about is, at least I know.
Yes.
At least I know what is real and what is concrete. And then if I see this person's running, they know that they're up and they're running. I have a choice now to whether I want to let this person fight again on my promotion. I want to watch this person.
Yes.
Or if this person does this all the time, if I'm the coach or if I'm the person fighting him, I know when he gets up, he does this. So I can train for this. And now my team, everybody involved, can now adjust to that.
Yeah.
If
Wow, what a great point.
If I'm the coach and I'm thinking, oh, my guy's winning, but he's not really winning, I don't give him adjustments to that. I don't tell him instructions for that. I tell him, hey, man, keep on doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
You're winning. And then come to find out you're not winning. And then I look like the ass. But at least I know. At least everybody else knows. And so when they look at the scoreboard, oh, he's losing and he chose not to fight. He's whatever.
Yeah.
How
can we change that?
Make a decision. And I don't, because they already know all the people that are for the thing because they want the climax.
Yeah.
They want the climax. And right, it's the climax, right? That's why because this is the our sport is comparable to the other side of prostitution. Right, it's the truth. It's the male version of prostitution, right? If you think about it, like
we are in Las Vegas, okay?
But listen, I know that it sounds like strange off top.
Okay,
but if you think about this, if you saw two women going at it, you go, whoa, okay, whoa, that's crazy. If you saw two guys fighting down there, you feel the same way. And in porn, prostitution. Women get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And this, men get taken advantage of. This is the male version of that.
Wow.
It really is.
And if you think about this, women that usually do that stuff are messed up in their soul, their head, all those things. You've talked to guys
A lot of them.
Right? It takes from your soul. It takes from you. Right? It's no different. It's the same thing. We're the other side of that. So with that being said, and in porn and all that stuff, everybody looks for the climax.
Yeah.
In this, everybody looks for and the new.
Yeah.
The climax.
Yeah.
And so that's why they don't want to take it out, because they want the climax.
Like, for instance, a good point with that is, Crawford Canelo, me being in the arena, it was so morbid. How quiet it was, how sad people looked getting out of there.
But you knew what it was. They knew what it was before.
Of course, everybody knew what it was. I'm so happy that it was not, like they stole it. None of those vibes. It was a clear win.
Yes.
But just the ambiance in the arena from, a high Mexican or Hispanic fan base, you can just feel, the difference of them not feeling like that climax that they were expecting going into it and coming out with.
100%.
That it kind of felt weird. It felt morbid, like, wah, we're going all the way home, But I mean, nonetheless, I love this sport so much. I always say boxing is king over any other sport. You need to know boxing to know any other, art, and especially when it comes to combat. So I give it up to everybody that gets in the ring. You people don't really see what fighters go through outside of the ring. Yeah. They just hear the bell and they're like, oh, that guy's good or not. But they don't see your hard nights, you're staying away from your family, all these sacrifices, the, dieting and the making weight. Like, it's just so much that happens, to get into the ring. So me being back here, I always appreciate just me walking into a gym and just seeing these guys in here day and night. And it's like
the dedication.
That to me, I'm just like, man, like win or lose, I know you're putting in work. And, that's where my passion comes in from the sport, because I see so much, discipline and just, grind when it comes to, becoming someone in the sport. And it's not easy, but once you, get to the top, I feel like, you can enjoy the fruits of your labor because you actually worked to get there, Well, do you have anything else to add, my friend?
No, you know what? Shane, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to tell anybody out there or your fans?
I mean, I think I said a lot, especially about the climax part. But honestly, this was a great conversation, and I really enjoyed it. We had a lot of laughs and a good conversation. So I hope everybody that's watching it enjoys, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. One thing before we go, I always love my favorite part of my logistical work is calling the camps and asking for their walkout song. Okay. But I'm not going to ask you for yours, so we can be surprised. But I do want to know if you had a walkout song that wasn't for boxing life, just your regular life walkout song. You go into the grocery store, picking up your kids. What is that song? You're like your theme song of life.
I have too many. Man, I don't. Lately, I've been on one of my friends. He's a Christian rapper, and he's KB. His name is KB, and I love his music. So like anything KB, like I play all the time. Because I love his music.
So like worship music is.
Yeah, I would say worship music. I like because like he makes good like Christian rap.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff that I feel like.
Can you find that on Spotify?
Yeah, absolutely.
Slim
so
Thug also has bomb ass Christian music.
Really?
Yeah.
So who is this? One more time.
His name is KB.
KB. Check it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, at least I know what you're listening to. You know when you're not walking out to the ring.
Yeah. Well, okay. One song for him is it's called Baby Mama.
Okay.
Right? And I love that song, especially part 2, is because basically he says that I'm married to my baby mama.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because like how like rap culture and stuff like that, they talk about like having all
I see what you're
and stuff
saying.
like that.
Okay.
So the song is called Baby Mama, and he is rapping basically about like how much he loves his wife and
I love that.
and basically
That's great.
Love that.
that he married the woman that he had kids with.
Yeah.
And so and just glorifying that.
Love it. No secular music up in this house. All right. Well, thank you so much for, giving us your time, especially during this hard and training camp that you're going through. I wish you all the best. And, God in your corner, you can do anything.
Thank you.
Yeah, so December 6th, you're going to want to check that out.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so you can watch it live. Also, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Elaine Castro, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
Shane, thanks for coming out.
Yes.
You can follow us on the Boxing VIP Network on all social media platforms. You can also visit our website at boxingvip.com. Watch all of our videos. We have multiple shows on there. Thank you again for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks, Shane.